I'm in a different spot today because I have menfolk. They invaded my domain. Well, they're actually in the garage and they're collecting stuff and cleaning things out and being all like oomph. But every very often they'll come in and they'll need a cup of coffee or they'll need a Christmas cookie or they'll need to show me a doohickey and say, "Do you want this?" And sometimes I say yes and sometimes I say no. Usually I say no because if I say yes, they want me to figure out where to put it. So I'm in a different place and hopefully we won't be interrupted as I try to remember what I really wanted to talk about today. Because it should come as no surprise to anybody that this is not very well thought out. I do have ideas, and I think that would be a fun thing to talk about for 4 minutes, and then I don't write it down. And then I think I should write down that idea, and I pick up a pencil, and it's gone. So today I'm going to talk about alligators because remember my Christmas novella, The Lady with the Alligator Case. If you still are in the mood for Christmas, go to Amazon or Barnes and Noble or the Pelican site. You can get it for cheap. And it's a fun read. And it might still keep you a little in the Christmas mood unless you're ready to move on, which I totally understand because there's a time and a place for everything, including Christmas novellas. But I wanted to read a couple of little passages about the alligator case. I don't know if it will wet your whistle or make you really glad that you don't own one, but I found passages pertinent to the alligator case in the book, The Lady with the Alligator Case. It first is in chapter 2, and the heroine, Jemima, says, "The old suitcase is going to a buyer in northern Wisconsin." "Oh," says a police officer. "My grandmother found someone willing to pay $250. I thought of that peon of ugliness and marveled again that there was no accounting for taste." That's our introduction. And so now we know that, well, there's more. The policeman asks her, "You never looked inside, but were certain it was empty?" "Of course. It didn't feel as though there were anything in there." I reflected for a moment. "You saw that suitcase. It's uglier than the alligator whose skin it used to be. I never even knew my grandparents owned such hideousness. Why would anyone want it is beyond me." And more. It could have been worse. Judith, she's the grandmother, who didn't know there were, I can't tell, it's a secret. There were something in the case. Told her book club about the Wisconsin woman paying $250 to get a smelly alligator case for her husband. A lively group discussion had ensued about whether to feel more sorry for the husband, who was the intended recipient, or the wife, whose marriage was so abysmal she was driven to gift her tormentor with a dead animal skin. And last that I could find, we all looked at the case on the floor by the sofa. Judith wrinkled her aristocratic nose at it. Why sell something like that when you can dump it and let it return to the earth from whence it came? I can't imagine the alligator who originally wore that skin was even very proud of it. So, if you have an affinity for alligators, they're, not mentioned. Yeah. But look at here, Beanie Baby alligator. Did anybody else's kids get into Beanie Babies in the 90s? My boys did only because everybody else was. And then I thought, maybe we ought to invest in their future. So we bought a lot of Beanie Babies, but we didn't make them not play with them or put the little tags on. So obviously this guy is not only missing a tag, he's missing an eye. See, he's missing an eye. Poor guy. I'm going over my 4 minutes, but just for fun, if you want a little song to sing when you're by yourself or with your kids or grandkids or, whatever, small children that you meet on the sidewalk, you can sing, "Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see an alligator, don't forget to scream."